Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And some breaking news, the Springbok team has been announced for their match against Argentina. It should be a really interesting clash and a very interesting team. Lots to note. A couple of usual sort of bench players who are starting. A couple of players who we haven't actually seen start at all. Or a player we haven't seen start at all. Getting a go and a move away from a 6-2 split. So a lot to sort of get into, a lot to discuss. We will be live very shortly, in fact. So if you watching this later, make sure you kind of catch up with the live show. We're really going to break this team down because there's a lot to look into it. But before we sort of talk about the team and look at it and exactly see who's been given an opportunity this weekend and maybe sort of who might have even sort of fallen down the pecking order, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. So in terms of the team, this is it. There we go. That is the team that will take to the field this weekend at the Emirates Airline Park against Argentina. So in the front row, we've got Steven Kitshoff, Malcolm Marx, and Frans Beherbers. Steven Kitshoff and Frans Beherbers started all tests so far, but Malcolm Marx will get his first start of the year. Bongi Mbonambi relegated down to the bench. Eben Etzebeth will get a second start in a row, but he has a new lock partner in Marvin Orie. He's going to get an opportunity after a pretty impressive display against Australia a couple of weeks ago. In terms of the loose trio, it is what we expected when I put in my predicted line. Marco Van Staden gets another go in the number 6 jersey. He is next to Peter Steff, the Toy, and Dwayne Vermeulen, who will captain the side once again. Jasper Wiese is dropping out of the 23 completely. Now, it is a first ever start for Grant Williams, who will get, well, at least for about 50 minutes. And that, for me, is the most interesting selection. Because I think all of a sudden, we might have seen a regime change with Grant Williams potentially having moved ahead of Jaden Hendrickse in the pecking order, and it'll be interesting to see come the 8th of August who will actually name the squad. Is this the last opportunity for Grant Williams to show what he can do, or is it the case of Jaden Hendrickse is going to start next weekend and they just want to see what Grant can do? Well, we don't actually know. But Mike Liebach gets another opportunity at 10. That's a very exciting combination. That those two themselves are a very exciting combination. If you look at the back three, Kirkley, Arons, Ches, and Colby, it is the form back three that we can select. Damien De Allende will go once again with a bit of a point to prove. A lot of people really sort of calling on the selection of Andre Esterhuizen, and he will have a new centre partner. However, Jesse Creel will get his first run out of the year in that 13 jersey. Off the bench, as I mentioned, a 5-3 split. Trevor Nyakani will feature for the first time this year. Bongi Mbonambi, Trevor, and Vincent Koch are the replacement front row. Archie Snyman will cover lock, and Quagga Smith will be our sort of utility for no Dion Free this weekend, which is a bit of a surprise. And then Patrick Clerk on the bench with Kanya and Damien Willemse. I like the bench because I like the fact that they've included Kanya almost as an acknowledgement of he needs a bit of game time. He needs a bit more game time. And I think that the plan would not have been a 5-3 split had he been playing really, really well. I think we would have gone with a 6-2 and probably thrown a Franco Mostert. He probably also needs a bit of game time. But I think that's an acknowledgement that Lekanya needs some more game time. He needs to get up to his best. So I like it. I think it's a nice team. I think it's a nice mix of giving players opportunity. I do think that it'll be interesting to see what the team is next week and who will travel to Argentina, because I don't think the likes of an Etzebeth will necessarily play next weekend. Maybe Darren Vermeulen might not play next weekend. So it's a very, very nice combination for me of players getting an opportunity as well as a very strong team. It is a very strong team. It's not a B team by any stretch of the imagination. In many ways, it's a bit of a form team, isn't it? The likes of Malcolm Marx coming in starting, Kirkley Arons are getting the nod, Mike Liebach getting the nod after Damien Willemse has struggled. The Kanya hasn't been at his best, and as a result, for example, Jesse Creel gets an opportunity. Grant Williams has looked very good off the bench, and so he gets an opportunity. Even Marvin Orie, I think, probably played better Australia than maybe Lewis did against New Zealand. So this, in many ways, is very much a form 15. Some of the stats or the milestones, for example, Eben Etzebeth is going to become the first player ever to play 20 tests against Argentina. He'll also surpass Springbok captain and hooker John Smith's 111 test caps on Saturday, and he'll become the 4th most capped Springbok ever. Malcolm Marx needs 1 try to equal Skalkberger's record of 16 tries, the most by a Springbok forward, and Grant Williams, as we mentioned, making his first ever start. The total test caps for the Springbok lineup is 718, 256 in the back line, 462 in the forwards. There are 326 caps on the bench. The average caps across the field is 36 in the back line, 57 in the forwards, and on the bench 40. So plenty of experience coming off the bench, plenty of experience in the forwards. It's the backline really which are not as experienced, and that's because Grant Williams making his third or fourth match appearance. He's had 3 caps. Molly Leibach's got about 4 caps. So in fact, it's the only likes of real sort of Damien Delendi, Jesse Creel, and Vinny LaRue who are actually putting that cap up a lot. Because even, for example, Cheslin Colby has only actually played 24 times for South Africa. It's surprising, isn't it, to have only played 24 times and yet be a superstar and already be one of the most famous players in history because he's scored so many significant tries for the Springboks. So let me know what you're thinking about the team down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.